Hello, everyone, and welcome to Life as It Is with me, Dora Middleton. In this segment that I'm doing today, I would like to talk about suicide and suicide prevention. I would like to start off by saying I'm a parent just like everyone else, and kids go through things. All right. And what I've learned that is when kids come and talk to you about problems they might be having, listen to them. I hear parents saying, okay, you'll get over it. It's okay. And this, that, and other. Don't ever push your child away when they want to talk to you about what they're dealing with, whether in their personal lives or whether it's in school. Always take the time out to talk to your children. Okay, that's number one. Okay, number two, as a parent, I teach my children to be respectful to everyone, okay? Not to disrespect anyone no matter what. I also teach my children to stand up for themselves, okay? That's always, I've always taught them that. I was taught that, okay? Stand up for yourself. Because one thing is when a person seems that they found a weak spot in you, that's when they're going to become your biggest nightmare, okay? So just teach your kids to stand up for what they believe in and stand up for themselves. Don't let anyone make them feel little. Don't let anyone make them feel like they cannot stand tall. They cannot protect themselves. I was raised that way, to be strong. I was raised to protect myself. My parents protected me. My siblings, we protected each other. And that's how I raised my children. But it seems like today we're living in a world to where people feel, okay, I'm going to tell my child to turn the other cheek. You might turn that other cheek and they might just hit you in that one too. Okay? You got to teach your children to be strong and not afraid to stand up for themselves. Okay? I know a lot of children say, if I stand up for myself, the kids are afraid they might get suspended. Okay, well, you get suspended. I'm sorry. That's just the way I feel. If you get suspended, okay, you were protecting yourself. That's something your parents have to deal with. If they want to suspend you for a couple of days for defending yourself, that's fine. Let your parents handle that. And as a parent, you should handle that. And you should go up there and you speak with the school and let them know, hey, my child was protecting themselves, okay? They needed protection from this bully. You can't always turn the other cheek. I've never agreed with anyone saying, oh, just turn the other cheek. I will say this. If you do have a chance to walk away from an argument, walk away. But if you are in front of someone face to face and they hit you and you walk away, you've just set yourself up to be harassed for a very long time, because what that bully is thinking is, okay, this person is weak. I can go up to them, I can hit them, I can do whatever I want, I can take their money, I can take whatever I want, I can knock their books out of their hand. This is what is happening in our schools today. So I believe that your children should be taught to stand up and fight back. Because bullies will be bullies, and they're not going to stop until you make them stop. So if they approach your child and your child stands tall and let them know, oh, we're not going to have this, And if they hit your child and your child hit back and protect themselves, that bullying is over. A bully is a bully because he feels that people are too afraid of him or her to fight back. And I know a lot of parents out there are raising their kids to just turn the other cheek. You can't do that because you've just set them up to be teased by all of the students. You set them up to be teased, especially by this is always one particular bully. I can remember when I was in school, I was the person that protected the children that was being bullied because I was so against it. And I can recall telling these children, please stand up for yourself, fight back. And they would be so afraid, just so afraid to fight back. And it pissed me off so bad when I was in school to where I actually fought these people's battles, and I told them, if you hit them again, then you're going to deal with me. They didn't want to deal with me because they knew I was ready, You swing on me, you won't swing on another, and I found myself protecting a lot of children in school that was being bullied, a lot of them. And I would try to talk to them and tell them, you got to protect yourself. You got to stand up. And they were so afraid because they thought I can remember this one particular person. She was so afraid because she thought everyone in the school wanted to beat her up, that she was so, you could go up to her to talk to her. I remember going up to talk to her to tell her, you got to stop letting them pull your hair out. You got to stop letting them hit you. She would put her hands up to cover her face because she was always trying to cover her face from the other people hitting on her, doing whatever they were doing to her. And I remember telling her, honey, move your hands, move your arms. I'm not going to hit you. I'm not going to do anything to you. I'm trying to help you. You have to fight back. You have to stop letting these people do what they're doing to you. But she never did. She was so afraid, but I protected her throughout school. When I was around and they saw that I was even attempting to come where they were at, where she was at, or whoever was being bullied, they scattered because they knew that it was not going to go that way if I was there. I don't do bullying, you understand? And I don't like bullies. And I still don't like bullies. I have a problem with that. And I just want parents out there to teach their children to fight back. I don't care if you have to put your kids in karate. Do whatever you have to do to give them the skills that they need to fight back. Because that turning the other cheek does not work. Most likely they will be hit in that other cheek. I am not promoting violence. I'm just saying protect yourself. Okay? Protect yourself. And I feel that anyone and everyone out there should always protect themselves. Because we all know that turning the other cheek does not always work. Now, I will say if you've gotten yourself into an argument with someone and it's just an argument, you can walk away. If you can walk away from that argument, walk away. But if they've turned physical with you, you have every right to protect yourself. You can't allow anyone to pound on you or do whatever they're going to do, and then you just take this beating and you walk away. No, you fight back and protect yourself. But if it's just an argument, you can walk away. You don't have to stand there and argue with anyone. Turn away. Just walk away. But I'm talking about if they put hands on you, that's something totally different. Yes, we all can walk away from an argument. Okay? And that's what you should do. I was talking about situations where you can't, where they won't allow it because they're, if they're trying to attack you, then you fight back. No matter what age you are, you fight back. And, basically, I'm just saying that as parents, there's a lot of parents out here that they don't know how to raise their children. Their children run around and they torment everybody. They're unruly, they're disobedient, they're disrespectful. And these are the type of children that all children have to deal with, especially in school. because they weren't raised right. And then if you bring it to their attention about what their kids are doing, they're ready to argue and fight. And you wonder why your children act the way that they do. And then when they get out and their kids get hurt, or someone, God forbid, kill them, or they go out there and break the law and get in a situation where they could possibly be killed, then they want to cry. They want to cry a river. Why are you crying? Is my question. Exactly why are you crying? This is the monster that you made. This is the child that you felt could do whatever they wanted to do without being punished or told that they were wrong. So why would you cry about what happened to your child if you didn't teach your child anything better? Is how I feel about it. So you got to start when they're young. Make them just set them straight. Make sure they're walking a straight line here. Make sure they're not out there doing things they shouldn't be doing. Because I will tell everyone, it starts at home. All these things that's going on right now, even as adults, all these adults that have no self-control, all this started at home. Had the parents done what they needed to do, these kids would not be tormenting all of us. Okay? Because there's adults that have no self-respect, no respect whatsoever. And they act like they're in high school. They don't know how to have a decent conversation. They're always ready to fight and argue with someone. Yeah, that's all of that started at home. But don't get me wrong now. There's some parents out there that they raised their children the best way they could, and they tried to raise them the correct way. But the kids still went a different way. Now, you can't fault the parents for that. It's just that child. Okay? But when I'm talking about being bullied with these kids in school, and even as a grown-up, when grown-ups are bullied by other grown-ups, they get into a state to where they get totally depressed. They start to then want to be alone, distance themselves from their family, their friends, or whomever. And that's not good, because that's when they are allowed to get into so much of a depressed state that they're not thinking clearly. And that's how you end up having people that feel that they have no one or anywhere to turn to. And then they start having these thoughts of suicide. And that is what worries me. Why the suicide rate seems like it's just out of hand. It saddens me when I see on social media about children that's tried to kill themselves or has killed themselves that was in elementary. It should never happen. And it shouldn't definitely happen because of bullying. I think that the schools should do better than what they're doing. They don't handle situations the way that they should be handled. It's like they don't care. If these schools were harder on students that come in there and bully other people, we wouldn't have these problems. We wouldn't be seeing all these these poor babies on the news that hung themselves or that's killed themselves because they were being bullied at the school, and they've told the principals, they've told the children. They've told the principals and their teachers about the children that were bullying them, and they were basically told to deal with it by themselves, that there's nothing they can do about it. That's wrong. And I think that when there's situations where the schools, they find out that the teachers and the principals and everyone knew that these children are being bullied, I feel that school should be held responsible, and every person, at every grown-up that they went to and that they told they were being bullied, if those children end up killing themselves, I think that teacher, that principal, or whomever knew about that situation and didn't try to stop it or intervene should be charged for that. I think that's the way it should be. Because there should never be a time when a child comes to you for help in school and they are not helped. If you know these kids are being bullied, you pull them aside. You pull the bully aside. You call the bully's parents and let them know. I think they should be allowed to let the parents know, if your child does this one more time, they are out. They are kicked out permanently. Because kids are coming to school to learn. They're not coming to school to be bullied. They're not coming to school to be beat on every day, to be teased. And I think that the problem should be removed. And the problem would be the bullies. Put them out. That's their parents' problem. Let their parents deal with their problem child. But it seems like the school, I've seen a lot of cases. I've listened to a lot of things that the parents have said. You know, you've seen it on the news and interviews where the parents say the school didn't care. They basically said, what do you want us to do? Well, I can answer that for the parents. Hell, they want you to protect their children. They send their children to you to teach them, okay, and to protect them while they're in your custody. While they're in school, you are supposed to protect them because the parents are not there to do it. That's why I say when these children go and kill themselves, the principal and the teachers or whomever they told that was in authority at that school should be charged for that, because they didn't do anything about it. If you can prove that they did nothing, if you don't see where they've called anyone about this or talked to anyone about trying to get this bully removed or whatever they needed to do to protect this child, if you see that they didn't do it, then I think that they should have a way to charge them for it. There's no way a parent should have to come in a room and find their child hanging or find their child dead because they've taken a bunch of pills, because they couldn't take the pain anymore. They couldn't take the bullying anymore. That's not right. It's not right. And we have to do better as adults. We got to put a stop to this. Bullying has to stop. And and the fact is, it does not just happen to children. There's grown-ups that bully each other. I've seen that. In the workplace, I've seen it all over. And I'm like, this has got to stop. And what's really sad about it, even as a grown-up, some of them just curl up and they don't fight back. They take it. They take all of the teasing. They take everything, and they don't stand up for themselves. But you have to stand up for yourself. You have to not allow people to do things like that to you. Don't allow people to break your spirit. Don't allow people to have you seclude yourself from others because you're just afraid, you're scared, you're tired. You're tired of being treated badly. You're tired of being disrespected. No, you have to stand up for yourself. Don't allow anyone to steal your joy. And if it's getting to the point where it's just so bad and you just can't take it, don't go and end your life. Don't. Your life is worth more than that, okay? Don't end your life. Talk to someone. You fight for yourself. I'll say this, if you don't fight for yourself, how can you expect for anyone else to fight for you? You have to, God give us all strength, okay? And we need to use that to fight for ourselves. Don't allow anyone to take anything from you. And if you go and you kill yourself over a situation that you're dealing with, you've given those bullies, you've given them your life. You're taking your own life rather than fight these people back. I understand kids. When it comes to kids, I can understand they're not as strong as we are. They're kids. But adults, as an adult, we have got to fight back. Don't let anyone disrespect you. You know, I'm not saying go out there and just pick fights with people. I'm saying stand tall, keep your head up, and you let people know you are not going to disrespect me. You're not above me, okay? We're both adults, and this situation will be handled as such. Just stand up for yourself. And parents, stop your children from terrorizing others. And I can't say it, I just can't say it enough. I constantly say this. Stop your children from terrorizing others. Okay? And if there's ever a time as a child or as an adult to where you have suicide on your mind, you can contact the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. That number is 1-800-273-8255. Again, it's called the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, and the number is 1-800-273-8255. There's always someone out there that you can talk to that is willing to listen to you and help you deal with the situation you're going through and show you what you need to do next. Just don't turn to suicide, because your life is worth more than that. Okay, I would like to thank everyone for joining me today in this segment. I've enjoyed it. I can't add enough, okay? I just cannot say this enough. Please, people, talk to your children and make sure that everything is going all right with them. Give them your ears. Give them your time. Don't ever turn them away, because you don't know what they're going through. And I need to take a brief break, and I will be right back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Life as It Is with me, Dora Middleton. In today's segment, I was talking about children being bullied, grown-ups being bullied, and what we need to do in order to stop people from being bullied. And I was talking about suicide, what causes people to want to take their own lives due to bullying, due to being harassed, and even in the workplace. As I stated before, I think we need to do better as parents with how some of these parents are raising their children out there. You have to raise your children to respect others and stop harassing other people. Stop disrespecting their elders. Stop disrespecting anyone, period. Again, people, you got to do better about how your kids are raised. But again, until we can do that, until we can get these parents to raise their children the right way, these kids are going to continue to grow up and terrorize everyone and anyone around them. But I also want to say again, no matter what you're going through, whether it's harassment in the workplace, people are being harassed in the workplace because of the way that they look. You have other people out there feel that you think that you're better than them. You think that you look better than them. I know this sounds so high school, but grown-ups are still living foul this way, okay? And jealousy will cause people to harass you. And as an adult, the difference between children and adults, they're afraid to stand up for themselves. But you understand that because they're kids. But when you're an adult and there's another adult harassing you, you can stop it, okay? You should never allow anyone to do that to you. You're all adults. Handle your situation. Don't get depressed. Don't seclude yourself from the world, from your family. Stand up to your bully. I don't care if it's your boss. I'm not saying you have to disrespect anyone. I'm saying stand up for yourself and let them know. Don't talk down at me. You talk to me. If there's a problem, we can discuss it and we can handle it. But don't allow anyone to treat you like you're less than. And I've said that in so many of my segments because people allow others to treat them like their feelings or don't matter, like they're nothing. And I'm telling you, don't allow anyone to treat you that way. Okay, don't let anyone steal your joy. Don't let anyone have you depressed to where you can't function. I've known people that they've gotten in these funks where they are so depressed they don't know what to do. I can recall a situation talking to a friend of mine for hours, and I constantly keep putting in this person's head, stand up for yourself. Stop allowing this. Stop allowing that. And the person got so to the point to where they still didn't know how to protect themselves or how to stand up for themselves, and will literally call me from work and say, well, how should I handle this? My boss is doing this. My coworker is doing that. What should I do? Okay, I would help the person through the situation, but I also told the person, you've got to learn to stand on your own. People know that you're afraid to handle your situation. That's why they're doing what they're doing to you. They're taking advantage of you. They're not doing right by you because you're showing them what bullies seeing. Here it is about a bully. When you don't defend yourself against a bully, you're showing them a sign of weakness. Don't do it. And what this friend of mine was doing was showing his fellow coworkers and his boss that there was a weakness there, and they were using it to their advantage. Oh, they were treating him like crap, and he was allowing it. But then he would come to me, and he would just cry a river. He would just say he didn't know what to do, how to handle this. You knew exactly what to do. All you had to do was stand up for yourself. And he finally, it took some years, but he finally stood up for himself. He finally got it together, and he stood up the way I told him to do it, and still was doing it in a respectful way, because you don't have to be irate to stand up for yourself. You just have to be sturdy. You just have to let them know, this is no joke. I'm an adult, and you're going to treat me as such. You're going to treat me with respect. You have to demand your respect. If you don't demand it, some of these people out here won't give it to you. Okay? I know that they say you have to earn respect. If you know you've earned it, you've been nice to these people, you've never disrespected these people, and they constantly harass you, then you demand it. You demand that respect. This is how you're going to come to me. Don't come to me in any foul way. When you come to me, you come correct. You come to me, you better be coming with respect. Okay? I have never been the type of person to let anyone disrespect me, because if I'm giving you your due respect that you're due, you best believe that you're going to give that back. I'm not going to allow you to say anything or do anything disrespectful to me. That's how I am. Okay? I'm not the type of person you're going to walk over, and I'm definitely not your footstool. So when anyone comes to me, you better come correct. Okay? That's the attitude that I have. You better come correct. Don't come sideways. Don't come any way but straight. Okay? Don't talk to me any kind of way, because I'm going to call you out on it. And I'm going to correct you, okay? And if you want to come to me acting like a child, then I'm going to correct you like you're one. That's the type of person I am. I'm sorry if anyone thinks that's too harsh, or if, I'm being mean. No, I'm a grown woman. And you're going to respect me, okay? That's all to it. Now, again, as I just stated earlier, as a grown-up, demand your respect. As a child, please, parents, teach your children to stand up for themselves. Don't teach them, just If they hit you, just turn the other cheek and walk away. No, 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 don't do that. Because you're giving that bully and his friends all the ammunition they need to then start beating you up every day of your life. I've seen it. I've seen it when I was in school. I've seen that. Don't teach them to do that. Teach them to stand up for themselves, okay? That's what you need to do so that we can work on the issue that this world is having with suicide. Children. It breaks my heart every time I see a child on the news or on social media that has committed suicide because they were tired of being bullied and they couldn't take it anymore, and the school did not protect them. We should never have to see children on the news because they've committed suicide because the grown-ups around them didn't help them. And I feel as a parent, you got to do more, okay? You stay on that school. If they're not doing what they got to do, if you have to go to the media, put them out there on blast, talk to whomever you need to talk to get the attention you need to get where this school is not doing their job. Write to whomever you need to write to. Go to their door, knock on it if you have to. And you let them know, hey, this is happening at the school. This has got to stop. But don't just tell your kids, oh, turn the other cheek. It will end at some point. But will it end in the way that you think it will end? You don't want it to end in getting a phone call or walking in your child's room or in your house and finding your child dead from suicide because they didn't know where to turn or who to turn to. So again, as a parent, talk to your kids, teach them how to handle a bully, and let them know no matter what, I have your back. If someone walks up and hits you, defend yourself. Defend yourself. Don't ever be afraid that, oh, the school's going to kick me out. Oh, well, okay? As a parent, I'll tell you, oh, well. We'll handle that after the fact. They kick you out, that's fine. Then you call an attorney because your child, they defended themselves. They have the right to defend themselves. If you have to, you handle that in court. You sue that school. They have an obligation to protect your children or your child. And if they're not doing it, then you have. Hello and welcome back to Life as It Is with me, Dora Middleton. I had to go to break for a few seconds there, but I'm back. And as I was stating, your child's school has an obligation to protect them. Make them do their job and protect your child, your children. If we as parents allow them to get away with what they continue doing, which is turn a deaf ear to your problems that your children are having at those schools, then you need to do something. As a parent, you need to fight for your children. Don't allow it, because your kids are out there feeling lost because no one's listening to them. The school, the principal's not listening, the teacher's not listening. They're telling anybody and everyone they could tell about the pain that they're going through, about the harassment, the bullying, and no one's stopping it. And that's why, again, as I stated, that's why whenever you turn on the television, you're seeing this young child has committed suicide, or on social media, someone's spreading the word about their niece, their nephew, their child, their cousin, or someone that's committed suicide due to bullying. Shouldn't be like that, because this is a situation that can be avoided if, as grown-ups, we do our jobs. The principal, the teachers, do your jobs at the school. The parents are not there. So when they're out of the parents' care, they're in your care. You have an obligation to protect all of these children. And if there's other children out there that's a threat to these kids, then kick them out. They're not there to learn, apparently, because if they weren't, if they were there to learn, they would not be there causing problems with the other children. They wouldn't be there trying to bully people. Maybe these children need to be in juvenile somewhere. They need to be in a detention center because they're having problems that needs to be dealt with. And if the school can't deal with it, put them in the hands of someone that can deal with it. Put those kids that's out there terrorizing other children, harassing them, beating them up, stealing their money, their lunch money. Kids going hungry because what? The bully's taking their money. You know, you got to stop it. It has to be stopped. And like I said, the parents can only do so much if the kids are not in front of them. Now, when the kids bring it to them and tell them, hey, mom, dad, this is what's going on with me at school, then you got to jump in. It's up to you. You have an obligation to protect your children now because they've brought it to you. They've told you what's going on. When they're in that school, the school also has an obligation because you can't allow this to happen to these kids, but they do. That's why I said, as a parent, jump right in and make them do their jobs. Make them protect these children that walk through their doors every morning. Okay? And again, there's always someone out there to talk to. You can call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. The number is 1-800-273-8255. Again, that's the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. The number is 1-800-273-8255. And I would like to thank you all for joining me in this segment on Life as It Is with me, Dora Middleton. And until next time, take care.